The lease site. To the untrained eye, if you've seen one, you've seen them all. But to those in the oil business, nothing could be further from the truth. Really, it comes down to the oil company and their bottom line. In short, if you cut corners to save money in building a lease, it will come back to haunt you one way or another. A poorly planned and constructed lease can lead to disaster. Build them too small, it makes it difficult to get the big trucks and rigs in there without some kind of an accident. If they're too soft because someone got impatient, well, that's a different game altogether. Now, one company that knows about leases is Fast Trucking. They move hundreds of rigs every year onto every type of lease imaginable. They wanted to build a better lease based on their experience and knowledge. They formed Days Construction to do just that.
You know, we've been drilling oil wells since 1986, so we see what needs done and we know the costs, what it does to drill a well and how much it is when you're sitting waiting, so we know all the ins and outs of that stuff too. So
there are so many variables in a lease. It could be wintertime, frozen solid, it could be dry as a bone, and if it rains and you need to mat the lease, well, Days Construction works hand in hand with their clients and they give them exactly what they want. They can do that, especially having the resources of all the companies that fall under the Fast Trucking umbrella.
And all services work together. If you're doing a rig move and you need a cat, you know who to call. You can bring one in fairly quick and vice versa. So they all work together to try and help the customer out in the best, most efficient way as possible.
It may cost a little more, but Days Construction believes if you build the right lease, it just makes everybody's job easier. But their experience also sees them through a lot of problems. A prime example is this double lease in Manitoba.
We're out on site here today. We've got a double well pad being built to the north, using a borrow pit, pushing sand and dirt to level a location. To the south, we'll turn around and build another location, moving the topsoil and level location for the rig to come in. We're dealing with a lot of soft ground in this area here. That's why we're having to push the material so far using the borrow pit.
On this lease in particular, the lay of the land was all wrong. There was a huge hill that would have gotten in the way of making this a feasible lease site. So with permission of the landowner, they were able to knock the hill down and add a more logical approach to the site to make it more user-friendly.
Two D6s, just windrow pushing, using the windrows to keep the material in front of their blades and then clean up the windrows afterwards.
Then there are the elements. Really, the perfect conditions for leases would be a bone-dry piece of land or completely frozen tundra. But when it rains on a rig, that's when you get all kinds of problems.
Because of the high water table, we got buffalo wallows, very soft ground, alkali we're working with, trying to cover that and keep it as hard as we can to move a drilling rig in on.
The rain and the mud makes everybody's life on the site a living hell, especially the drivers. Imagine the big bed trucks with buildings on for a load, trying to navigate around a small lease that is even worse because of the mud.
Driving on a lease when you have a variety of trucks all doing the same thing, it's like synchronized ballet.
Unorganized cluster, I call it. But it's good. You know, everybody talks to each other, and then the more important stuff gets done, the less important gets kind of shoved off in the corner. It's all good. Everybody's got to work together. If you don't get along and can't work together, you get nothing done.
We can look at any other truck and all we have to do is look and we know exactly what they are planning or what their mode of operation is. It's almost to the point where you just have to look and see, okay, he's backing up for this, he's about to do that. And not only if I can look out and see any one of those people, they can look out and see, okay, what's he about to do? And all they have to do is look, and they automatically know. But that comes with experience. That doesn't come overnight.
So if you want the true answer on how good your lease work really is, ask the truck drivers for their opinion. They are the ones that have to navigate the rigs on them. Days Construction has that kind of experience, the kind of experience that can save you a lot of time and money, and most importantly, to operate on a safe lease.